Hello everyone and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Rise from the Ashes. Oh boy, did things take a turn. Oof. Well, it turns out that the detective that we saw on video turns out to not be Bruce Goodman, but the cowboy himself, Jake Marshall. So basically, yeah, from what this case is telling us, it's mostly about cops against prosecutors. But wow, they're gonna be in for a major twist come the finale. But we'll get to it when we get to it. Alright, so without further ado, let's get started on the last investigation of this case. So here we go. Load the selected data. The save file. Alright, here we go. We are now back at the law offices of Phoenix Wright. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm so sorry for what my sister said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to do in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for Joe Dark killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean by what happened to you? It's all in there, in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. So that means you... Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial. I didn't see that one coming. Explain, Emma. Please explain. It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day. Unusual for the season. November, well, you never know. It could be... Wait. Winter season doesn't start until like late December or mid-December. And I think right now, since it's November there, so I guess it's autumn or fall right now. So yeah, there may be a chance for a storm to approach. Nothing unusual there. So I was all alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. And then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. Wonder how. I'd rather not think about it. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, a prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck, and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window. Lightning, lightning. Lighting up the office in an for an instant. When I saw then burned up a permanent picture in my mind, I can still see it now. A permanent picture? What is this permanent picture then? What did you see the instant that crime occurred? Okay, first off, what in the world? Is this guy a Pokemon or something? Because the head reminds me of one of the Pokemon from Gen 7 and above, I'm gonna guess. I forgot one of the Pokemon, but if I do recall it, I'll put it up on screen so that way y'all know. But anyways, Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms. Like a little baby. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, she was completely traumatized because of this, so... Poor Emma. You've been through so much. So 2 years ago... Okay, so right now, Emma's 16. So 2 years ago, she would have been 14 at the time. I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. We'll see that picture later on. 2 years ago. Oh, sorry, that was Phoenix. I gotta remember to look at the name to know who's talking. 2 years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I wanted to be able to fight crime with my testimonies. Oops, excuse me. I just had my morning coffee. I still have some in my cup though. And find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way, Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. After the incident, I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that. No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. When you notice words in red, that means a clue. Made up the crime, huh? Made it up? You mean provide bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence, and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given off of false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth. I mean, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. Didn't they just say that that Lana was the one that provided the false evidence, and Edgeworth used it not knowing that it was false? Anyways, after the case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today. She must have not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. Something puzzling. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor. Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark has been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police? Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective's offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly. Didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. You don't say. You don't say at all. Lana used to be a detective? I'd better have another talk with her. Which exactly what are we that we're gonna do right now. Detention center, away. Oh no, okay, so we're in February, so so February, so you said February at this time of and a time of that year. So February means they're still in winter season. So yeah, storms can happen. I mean, just a few years ago, right around Valentine's Day, well before then, I'm not sure if those that live in the Houston area, we experienced our very first snowstorm. And it was something that we had never experienced. I mean, snow we have. I mean, don't get us wrong. I mean, like snow falling, but a snowstorm? No, this was the first time Houston has ever experienced something like that. To make matters even worse, like a lot of people were using up a whole bunch of electricity just to keep ourselves warm, and trust me, oof. What an experience we had. But well, I mean, I guess hopefully we'll get some more snow this year. Hopefully, never know. All right, so detention center. Hi, Lana. All right, look, Lana, Mr. Wright. It seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were of the type. Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we? Still, you're supposed to be a force for good. Doing being a force for good doesn't mean you gotta play by the stoop to their level, which is exactly what she did. She stooped to someone's level just to win a case. I mean, yeah, it's true. There will be criminals who won't play fair, but that shouldn't stop you from sinking to their level. But Emma, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risks. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about the unusual change of jobs? I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. All right, so let's talk to her about today's trial first. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stay to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with the knife. Music stopped. ... Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before. Alright. Let's hear the story of Detective Lana. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? He was oh, this is Lana. He was the deputy chief of the police back then, but he still worked at the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filled. Emma really idolized her big sister. But now, you're chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience in investigating crime scenes, so you could use that experience in court, right? Gant's help in the SL9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Alright. The Dark Investigation. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark. Second in command? That means the investigation was led by Damon Gant, right? Yes. Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. A Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. First one at the scene. Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he went until Gant and Marshall let their guards down. Then they fled the room. From there he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run the scene, Lana. It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood. 3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and laid unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her. Can't blame her after all her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right. Quite a coincidence, I don't buy it. What are you saying? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance. But the case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall. Yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he changed completely. I guess I wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memory. That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself, the chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. Okay. Alright, so let's head for the police department entrance. Let's see. But we gotta go through here. And there we go. Yeah, because you basically have to go back and forth towards certain areas just to get to the place where you want to go. Alright. The police department entrance. Oh. Howdy, Bambina. Oh, Mr. Marshall. I never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Case that I said, you never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why did prosecutors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know of the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Alright, we're gonna talk. And let's go with Dark Trial. Some fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so. What do you mean, fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Dark's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? A blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, the possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. Scars? That the SL9 incident left behind? Alright, Prosecutor Marshall. Let's learn about him. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I just made a detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he? Your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that day. The highest honor? You mean the Kenya prosecutors? I knew it. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. the day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't of the same day as. That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal. Hmm? Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall, there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently, someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. So, about these scars. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every a detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Excuse me. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners will get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean, the Damon Gann and Lana Sky. Gant and Sky. The investigation led Damon and his second in command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah. Damon Gant of the new chief of police arranged for that to happen. She's never been of the same since she left. Huh? Everyone knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret. It all started 2 years ago. So there you have it. Sorry about that. Coffee. Okay. So there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him the evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you. When you become a real scientific investigator. Okay, so I have played almost the entire series. Well, except for the fifth game. But why didn't he come back as a cop or a detective at least? I mean, it would have been awesome to see him again in future games. I mean, we are gonna see what like who's the one who's really pulling of the strings. I mean, Jake Marshall himself already said who the true culprit really is, but we have to know why first. But basically, Jake just done spoiled everything. who the real mastermind behind this whole thing, this whole this whole stuff. So, thanks a lot, Jake. All right. I guess I'll get back to the whole Jake Marshall thing at the credit scene. So, anyways, adios, Bambina. Zoom. Off he goes. All right. Let's head towards the chief's office. But before we do that, let's go to the criminal affairs. And let's speak with someone here. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted. Isn't it always like that? That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Huh? Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did, and this sensation about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth. Not to mention our statement to the media and to tomorrow's trial. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just use the other connecting hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique charm. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. So let's head towards the chief's office. Here we go. All right. Oh, about to sneeze. Wait. Okay, I'm good. Whoa, where am I? In the chief's office. Sleep. At least that's what it said on the door. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it? Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach. I thought I was a genius until they tried to. I never could remember where C was. Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. So, Righto, have you been swimming lately? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately. I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too, with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement. Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence? 2 years have passed since that incident. How time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Neil, and me. So this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall. We took it to commemorate our work together. Something's not right with this picture, and I can tell y'all, everyone is looking at it. More on that later. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it. Alright, so another piece of evidence has been added. The GAT team picture. Anyway, I like to reminisce all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's get out together. Oh, but this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it? That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate investigate it anymore. All the same, still like to have a look around. Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend. Looks like we aren't welcome. It seems that case isn't over with yet, after all. What do you mean? Chief can't deny our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he oh, it's Phoenix, keep forgetting. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. You mean like a clue? There's gotta be a way to get inside of the chief's office. Alright. So unfortunately, Gant has kicked us out of that office. The only clue we have so far is that picture. Alright, so let's head back to the Criminal Affairs Department. Alright. Hey, pal! Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm just taking a breather. My feet hurt. From sitting so long? Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Sounds like a Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop. Say, have either of you have seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court. That sounds serious. Is it because of what my sister said? That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood. Yikes. Alright. Edgeworth's crisis. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Sky is the guilty party here, isn't she? Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that, but as you know, there have been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor's kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now, with this, are there really so many people who hate him? In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know of for making enemies. Hey, Dick, keep up the good work. Yes, sir. Let's go out for lunch sometime. My treat. Yes, sir. I gotta take me back to that joint. Okay, Dick? Yes, sir. It seems you don't have any problems with enemies. Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Alright, the SL9 incident. Actually, I took a look at the file earlier. While the coffee was brewing. He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. Well, did you find anything? The only evidence Dark left behind was during his final attack. His final attack? You mean when he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl? Me. It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl. That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all. Well, what was it? Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay? His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Okay, so before that, let's present something first. Sorry about that. Oof. Sneezing. Oh boy. Allergies, they'll get you. Alright, so let's present that switchblade. Let's see. Where is that switchblade? Aha, here it is. About this. Hey, is that? It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of. What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker. On that day, a Detective Goodman was murdered. This suddenly disappeared from the locker and was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler. That's it! Now I remember what incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me. Well, what is it, a detective? Quick! Before you forget again. Okay, so let's see. Let's go back and talk. Alright, first let's ask him about Dark's crime. Joe Dark was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman. A businessman? What? I made him take to serial killing. One day, on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. With his car? So it was an accident? An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal. An animal? He killed a man that witnessed an accident and a kid walked just by them. Yeah, I'll let this whole thing go, cause oh, now it's finished. This is why I need the history button, so that way I can read the actual text. A jogger came upon the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in. Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. I'm not sure if I even said that word right. Alright. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but luckily Dark was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed. That last witness? AKA Emma. Alright, so murder weapon. Excuse me 1 second, I'll be right back. So, cut. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so murder weapon. This knife, it was Joe Dark's, wasn't it? That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it. But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right? That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken. You don't have to take a good look to notice that. Yeah, well, anyway, I take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in. Where was it? The victim, Neil Armstrong, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside of a stab wound. Did it match the Dark's knife? You bet. Down to the last fiber. That's pretty conclusive. Alright, so we get Neil Marshall's autopsy report. Stabbed in the back, died from a punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was in the wound. And it's also been updated. The switchblade knife has been updated. The broken tip was found in the victim's body. Belonged to murderer Joe Dark. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know. Can I ask you one more thing? What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant. It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. The chief's out now, and his office is locked. But I'd like to have a look around if it's okay. Well, I need a detective's ID card can unlock the door. What? Really? But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with the breach of trust. Breach of trust? Simply put, I'd be canned. Oh. Sorry, pal. I'll plan on getting fired because of you. How about this ID card? It was a Detective Goodman's. That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died. Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do now. So I guess we don't have a choice but to move on. Let's head towards the chief prosecutor's office. Oh, wait a minute. Prosecutor's office underground parking lot. No one's here today. Not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are. But we proved it in court today that that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case, but instead, it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. Gotta find all the answers by tomorrow. Alright, so let's go to the High Prosecutor's office, aka Edgeworth's room. I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet. There he is! It looks like he's writing something. Well, what are you doing here? He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh? I've had to live the past 2 years with rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. That's Edgeworth for you. Always trying to hide his real feelings. So, what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Well, you're in here all day, so... Alright, forged evidence. There's no excuse for what I've done. 2 years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I do can erase that fact. But you didn't know, did you? I mean, that the evidence was falsified. The police, the police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, we stand to lose everything. The police department's error is my error. My responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. That fact remains with the same no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Edgeworth, I take pride in my work, so tell me why. Why has it all come to this? Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Alright, tomorrow's trial. Are you up for the trial tomorrow? First, last year's trial, and now this one. It seems all you do is worry about me. To be honest, you're getting on my nerves. But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow is the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's what my superiors are banking on. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. What do you mean? Of a list of evidence. It seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. It's only half as long as most lists. That is odd. After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. I may not have been a part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect guilty. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. Say, we just saw a picture taken around that time. That picture. Something seemed strange about it. Okay, so before I present the picture, let's talk to him about the day of the crime. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day a Detective Goodman was murdered? You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right? I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Because you were awarded this. Those who are receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department. You finished up at the office? Yes, just odds and ends. Clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is, until I was asked to take something back. To take something back? This. Oh yeah, Chief Gant asked you to hold on to that, didn't he? Yes, it was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office. That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back here to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to? That's right. Oh yeah, and by the way, this will be the last time we see Edgeworth until way later in Gyakuten Saiban 6. Y'all know which one I'm talking about. Alright, so let's present him with the picture here. This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes? The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding, it's a little different than yours. Yes, you're right. Ah, I remember now. Remember what? That was the official prosecutor's trophy, looked like until 2 years ago. There's a story behind its design. A story? Sounds interesting. Would you mind telling it to us? It's simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award's based on. Do pray tell. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. The first means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard of the story? Me? Oh, sure, everyone knows that. Why don't you tell it, though, for Emma's sake? Very well. Long ago, in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a halberd. He claimed could slice through any shield or armor. The second was a shield. He claimed could withstand any weapon. Wait a minute. Those claims contradict each other. Very perceptive. But then again, you've heard of the story before, right? Anyway, as you mentioned, the descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus, the Chinese word for contradiction was born. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and broken knife symbolize precisely so. They symbolize the merchant's items. The ancient tale ends with the merchant at a loss for words, but it is in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion, even if it results in something as ugly as this. Wow! Thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. That's funny. If that's so, then why were you only given a shield? You'll have to ask Chief Gant. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished. Chief Gant. Alright, so it's update. The King of Prosecutors trophy has been updated. 2 years ago, the halberd was removed at Gant's behest, giving it its current form. Okay. Alright, so let's examine that little paper that was tossed on the floor. I wonder what he was writing before. Come on, Mr. Wright. Let's take a look. Are you crazy? Edgeworth is sitting right here. Just to distract him. I'll check it out. Hey, Edgeworth. Is that Detective Gumshoe out there in the window? Oh no, he's falling to the ground. Hold on. First, let me see what that girl's doing crawling around my feet. He didn't even look. What? Letter of If you're having trouble reading it, I'll read it for you. It says letter of resignation. Resignation? Edgeworth, you don't mean... I'm tired, Wright. I feel as if something inside me has died. But, Mr. Edgeworth, none of it is your fault. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. And the path I've walked hasn't been a just one. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Uh-oh, I think he's serious. Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something. This letter of resignation, I wonder if I could use it for anything. Alright, so we get Edgeworth's letter of resignation. Edgeworth, a discarded letter of recognition. Recognition? What is wrong with me? Resignation. He's serious. Alright. Whew. Man, having problems with saying a certain word. Alright, so let's head towards the parking lot now. Excuse me. Would either of you care for a quarter pound of roast beef? Miss Star, I guess she's out of lunches. You certainly are the curious sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who's sucked a cat. I'll let y'all read that for yourselves. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago. Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was due for transferal. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence. Aren't you forgetting something? You know, that a little scene I happened to witness. The instant Lana stabbed Goodman with the knife. No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. The Star's hatred towards Lana. It all dates back to 2 years ago. Alright. let's see. Let's speak with Miss Starr about the Dark investigation. Joe Dark. That's a name I'll soon forget. We trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was even more alive than I was then. Those days were steamier than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though. Must have been going through Hiffle. You mean because of his brother's death? They were close, those two. And Neil died. Something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate. Her? Lana Skye. My sister? The best of the best were put on that SL9 case. Of course, they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant. Alright, after case was closed. That legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out. You mean with the forging of the evidence? Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it wasn't obvious the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear, while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us save Goodman was relieved of our duties, most without even so much as an explanation. Then, Lana Skye transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Lana always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Huh? Lana Skye was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. She was being used? I could get to that in a bit. Legendary duo. Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Gant led the investigation, and Lana was second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism in particular was almost unreal. His magnetism? By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. He produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled. Incredible evidence? You mean... Oh yes. There were rumors about him even back then. No one dared confront him, though. I take it she's talking about forged evidence. Back then, everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She hated anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Starr. That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Oh, when this whole case is exposed for what it really is, forgiving her is your only option. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? Alright, so being used. Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she? Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief. That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control, and then no one could stand in his way. The prosecutor's office. What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred? If he could control the chief prosecutor, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. So yeah, all fingers point to the chief of police. All evidence, all fingers, everything point to the chief of police. But how could he control Lana? I don't know, but one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. It's only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change. At last, I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess. Thank you, Miss Starr. Whoops. You listen to me, rookie. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. I hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. All right. So we're done here. So yes, so sorry. I just saw a text message. All right, so, and that's the reason why I was laughing. All right, so let's go back to the criminal affairs. I think we can get through there via the police department, and there we go. Hold on one second, I'm sending a text message real quick. And there we go. Sorry about that. Alright. Oh, you're back. You're still here? I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ. You're a DJ as well? If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey. Oh, that DJ. I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer's still no. I'm not letting you in of a chief's office. Period. It'd be my neck on the line. That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there. There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. And indeed we do. The bad news. What's this crumpled piece of paper? No, wait! Mr. Edgewood can't be serious! Is he ever not serious? I can't believe it! They've pushed him this far! Mr. Edgewood really feels responsible. When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence, but we betrayed him. Detective. That's it. I've made up my mind. But here, I take my ID card. We can't do that. If someone found out, they wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report. Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated. What? So at least let me do this for Mr. Edgeworth's sake. All right, detective. Thank you. All right, so we get Gumshoe's ID card. So keep in mind, this case takes place 2 months after the events of the first game. You already know that he's coming back. As to how he was able to get back, maybe, I mean, I forgot. It's been a long time since I played this game. So maybe after this case and during the credit scene, it explains as to how Gumshoe got his job back. Or maybe not, but we'll see. Alright, so let's head towards the chief's office. Alright, here we go. Here goes, Mr. Wright. Card accepted. We're in. Alright, so if anyone finds us now, a detective Gumshoe's a goner. If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. A slap in the face. Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I didn't even know a ghost could. I didn't even know you could slap a ghost. Detective Gumshoe. What are you doing sneaking up on us like that? I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too. If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Alright. Gumshoe's ID card crushed and rendered unusable in pocket. Why didn't he just give Gumshoe back the ID card? Why crush it? Hey, don't do that to my card! I hardly ever get a chance to come in here, so I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now. You really do want to get fired, don't you? Not if we're lucky. Now come on. Let's see what we can find out. I've got a bad feeling about this. Alright. Let's talk. The chief's office. That desk on the other side of the room. Wasn't that your sister's? Yes. That's where I waited for Lana on that date 2 years ago. Is anyone using it now? No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now. He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene. That's a strange... leave it there. I mean, that's a strange reason to leave it there. He leaves it as a warning to everyone. He wants us to be alert. He told us himself at our New Year's party. Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time. I see. So, ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk. No one except Chief Gant and the cleaning lady who's in here each morning. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident. Hold on, let me lower the volume here. There can't possibly be any clues remaining. Well, you never know. Chief Gant. Can I ask you something? Sure. You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it? Why do you ask? You don't think... Nah, you wouldn't be. No. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Okay, now then. Let's look around a bit more. Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy. What is it? When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to start bothering you, pal. You don't just let it go at that. Sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you? You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you? What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do we think of him? Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Perhaps it's best I don't divulge my feelings yet. There you go, ignoring me again. Alright, let the examination begin. Let's examine the safe here first. This is a safe, isn't it? Safe? That word is ripe with intrigue. Okay, if you say so. It looks like a code needs to be entered in this panel to open it. A 7-digit number. I think I just might know what it is. Well, if you recall that record, you'll know exactly what it is. Do you know what it is? I have a hunch. Oh, I know. You want me to try my birth date? It's... I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. So let's input the code. Booyah. Code confirmed. Access granted. Bingo. What number did you enter? Whose birthday was that, pal? 7777777. The final ID card number on that record. What? The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day? You mean all those sevens? That ID number? I think you're 1 7 shy this time. This can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number. Say, anyone care to look inside? Yeah, let's examine that. Is there any money in there? How much money does he have stashed away? Look, it's a shard from a broken cup. This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before? There's something else here too. What's this? It looks like a piece of leather cloth with a handprint. This is a handprint, isn't it? Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chief made up the design? I don't think so. Oh, well, it was just a thought. Is that it? This is all that was in the safe? Apparently so. It's empty now. A piece of cloth with a handprint on it, and a broken shard from a cup. They look like pieces of evidence. Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here. Great. Now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items related to the SL9 incident? Come on, there's gotta be something we can show the detective. Well, of course, there is something to show that detective. And that is this. Aha, here it is. A Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar? I remember when the three of us put that back together. Ah, those were the days. It's kind of early to be nostalgic. Wasn't this jar a piece of evidence from that case? That's right. One of the shards of the SL9 incident sticker on it. Doesn't this ring any bells? You know, that fragment we just found. You mean this one? That was in the safe? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that one. That was in the safe. Now that you mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits. Assemble the fragments. Here. Let me see that shard. I'll take a crack at it. Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do. Mr. Wright, here's some glue. I can piece this together again. It'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. 3D image time. Let's switch this. There we go. I think. Nope, wrong way. There we go. And thus, the vase has been completed. Or jar, if y'all want to call it. There, it fits like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in this safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident. But, hey guys, get a load of this. What is it? This piece you attached, it's different from the others. Uh-oh. Y'all noticed that, didn't y'all? There's a... Oh, that was Emma. There's a reddish line on it. A reddish line? That's blood. I don't get it. Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe? Alright, so the unstable jar has been updated. Evidence from the SL9 incident. Final fragment found in Chief Gant's safe. Blood traces. Alright, so let's present the fingerprint set. Let me see. This one, there was another one here. Something here. Let me see. Let's see what's missing here. Alright, let's present the fingerprinting set. Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this. Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints? That's a great idea. Alright, I'll go to town. Sheesh. What are you doing? Why are you sticking your hand like that? Go ahead. I'll take my fingerprints. It's not your fingerprints we want to take. Huh? Come on, this isn't time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth we found in the safe. Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprint on it, right? Sheesh. Where's your sense of humor? Okay, Mr. Wright. Let's check it for prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Then once they absorb into the prints, blow the rest away. What are you, my mom? I don't have to be told a million times. Alright, let's get this over with. And the results may be shocking. I'm gonna do this one and sprinkle the powder. Sprinkle the powder, sprinkle the powder. And yeah, you basically have to mash the button or just keep pressing the button. There's no press and hold. Alright. Alright, we're cool there. Now, through the magic of TV, voila. I gave him, I gave him my best shot. That kind of result won't be any good for matching prints, will it? But it does look like we'll get a clearer result from this print. Okay, let's try a different finger then. Okay, so I guess we can go with this one. Alright, dust away. So yeah, as I said, Rise from the Ashes basically makes use of the Nintendo DS features. Most notably the touchscreen, the microphone. Yeah, a lot. So, voila. I gave him my best shot. Nope, I guess not that one either. Okay, what about this one? Sprinkle it, sprinkle it. So thankfully, I found a way to make use of this feature for this Mew when I get to Apollo Justice. So, oh, wait a minute. I gave it my best shot. Okay, so that won't help either. Let's try the naughty finger. Right. I'm not doing this on purpose, though. I'm just making it. I'm just trying to figure it out. All right. Oh, I guess it needs a little more. Sprinkle it all the way here. And all the way right here. And there we go. Alright. This may shock you all. Yes. The fingerprints belong to Emma Sky. No. How can this be? What are Emma's fingerprints doing here? Hey, I found the match. Whose fingerprints were they? Huh? Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a match. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints. Psst. Hey, you over there, over here. Oh, what's going on here? What are the kids' prints doing inside the chief's safe? Don't ask me. Let's just keep this info from Emma for now. Here, maybe you should hold on to this. Alright, so we get the piece of cloth found in Chief Gant's safe. Evidence for something, but what? Bears Emma Sky's prints. Emma Sky's prints, sorry. Yep. The results are shocking. Alright, so let's examine some more. The desk. Wow! Look at the size of Chief Gant's desk. Speaking of that, when we were here earlier... Oh, it's you two. Chief Gant. He put that paper he was reading in his desk. I wonder what he was reading. This looks like it. This looks like... Oops, excuse me. A list of evidence. A list of evidence? In most cases, a list runs twice as long as this, though. Hey, Look at the case name. Huh? SL9 incident? I wonder what this is doing here. Hold on, detective. What did you just say? I said, I wonder what? No, about evidence lists. Normally, they're twice as long. That's right, I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence. A half-sized list of evidence? The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long. What would the other half of the list be doing here? I knew it! The chief must be hiding something about that case. It would appear so. Alright. So, we have another piece of evidence. The evidence list. List of evidence in the SL9 incident was ripped in half, so this part is all I've got. Well, was I any help? Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Now, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. Isn't that right? You in the coat. Eek! Chief Gant! Oh, we didn't think you'd be back so soon. Fortunately, I am a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pole. Just then, I thought of a certain detective. You mean me, sir? Now then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you all to leave. Yes, sir. Sorry. Oh, you in the coat? Me, sir? Drop off your ID on the way out. You won't be needing it anymore. But, sir... Now, get out. Yes, sir. We'll be on our way too then. Wait, you are the one who without the spiky hair. Don't go yet. Me, sir? I'd like a word with you. But, sir, I'm not a licensed scientific... You with the spiky hair, you're free to go. Mr. Wright. Look, pal, if I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you? I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired. Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this, I never would have said it. Now that I've seen evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally understanding to get the picture. But why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time? Anyway, you listening to me? I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal. After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions, so she'll be busy for the rest of the day. And so we're off magically towards the detention center. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning. It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here. But I've already told you all I can. What you've told me over these past couple of days is absolutely nothing. Not a single useful thing. Really. I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed a Detective Goodman. You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words. Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. It seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? Once you're convinced you know something, No one can persuade you otherwise. Big-headed is the term he used, I believe. Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story. So yeah, start talking. Why is she keeping quiet? I have to admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence. That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual. What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person? Protecting? No. I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence. For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom, may I ask, is this person you're speaking of? The one I'm supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? Damon Gant. Well, Miss Skye? Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Don't forget your place. I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans. My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you know, what you think you know? Damon Gant. We were partners until now. We were partners until 2 years ago. I respected him as a detective. Assuming he is a respectable, then tell me something. Why would he try to hide his crimes? His crimes? Both you and Edgeworth will be brought up before a board of inquiry for what you did. Specifically, hiding and forging evidence. Of course, these are serious offenses. Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned? Chief Gant? Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation. Yes, you, but also one other, Damon Gant. If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof that Chief Gant falsified evidence in the case. Let's see. Let's show her the evidence list. I just found this in a safe in the chief prosecutor's office. This jar piece and this piece of cloth. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident. The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you summarized. I cannot disobey the Chief's orders, even if it means being found guilty of murder. Why not? Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate in the murder of Detective Goodman, or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Orders. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say that I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car. Just as I suspected. Despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Goodman. Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken. and I discovered that the murder weapon was while inspecting the body. The murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife? No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it. The knife from the SL9 incident. Serial killer Joe Dark's knife. I couldn't just leave that a knife in him, so I took it out and stabbed him with another knife. That would be Edgeworth's knife. That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand. And that is the reason for the bandage on your right hand. Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in. The star, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly? It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible. So, you hid Dark's knife. The weapon used to stab a detective was evidence in Joe Dark's case. If word got out, which it would, then reporters would have a field day with that. So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe. Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside my muffler. You asked Emma? I didn't want anyone on the force to know about this. That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence. Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one of them that day. A bad feeling? The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall. To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? The lead investigator for the SL9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust, or at least I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seemed that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own. Oh, you mean not wanting the case to die? He decided to take things into his own hands. He disguised himself as Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seemed he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room. After my phone call, any remaining doubts he must have disappeared. So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you. But Lana, you've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow. Tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. I've got to get to the bottom of everything. Detective Goodman's real murderer. And what went down in the chief's office 2 years ago. Oh boy, what a case. What a case. Well, next time is the finale. The stage is set. It's now time. Since we already know who the real mastermind is, it's time to prove that. When next we meet, it's the finale, the final trial of Lana Skye. So, until then everyone, take care and God bless. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, comment, and share with all your family and friends. If you're enjoying my content, consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to click that bell to receive notifications for new videos. Take care, and God bless.